it seems like from all the content that I've listened to that you put out, you sort of had like a beginning phase where you're doing mostly like single family, and then you sort of like up leveled into multifamily. So what, I guess if you could talk a little bit about that transition, or why you started that way, and what type of realization you had that made you kind of change gears.
Yeah, I mean, initially, single family homes just seemed all that's attainable to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think those, especially like the young guys that, they'll listen to a lot of books and podcasts about buying apartments, and they buy into all the breadcrumbs about, you know, multiple roofs, economies of scale, and it's all true, right? I think multifamily or multiple roofs and syndication deals are better. But I do personally believe that you need to have a net worth greater than 500,000 at least to start doing those deals. So you need to have a little experience on your own.
To get into
And
multifamily.
right, or to not only multifamily, but any kind of syndication or private placement. And that stuff is mainly for accredited investors, $1 million net worth and above. I mean, just look at like my investing career. Like I bought my first rental in '09, and then it took me 7 years to get up to 11 rentals, just plugging away. I mean, it was especially the first 3 years, it was like watching grass grow. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. Like, I did it in kind of a two-phase thing. Granted, I did things like, made a lot of mistakes, which I probably could have expedited that timeline a little quicker. But I mean, to me, it's kind of like get your net worth up to a certain point, then go after bigger stuff.
And you were still working that whole time?
Yeah, I actually only quit my job about like a year and a half ago.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Could you have quit it sooner, looking back? Or I mean, what do you recommend for people? Is that kind of the path that you like, now that you've got hindsight? Do you recommend people kind of stay for that length of time, or what's the transition plan?
I mean, everybody's a little bit different, right? I mean, a lot of my clients are like high paid doctors, lawyers, engineers, guys making at least 100 grand a year. So when you're making that much money, and especially, I got to a point where my job was pretty simple. Actually, I didn't do much. Let's just call it that. And it was easy money. And yeah, I could kind of do my real estate stuff on the side, run it from my cell phone or my laptop. Probably I shouldn't have done that. And that's ultimately why I kind of quit, because I thought it was kind of unfair to do that all the time. But, for a lot of my investors, they realize like what's your highest and best use? For a lot of them, it's going to their day job where they make multiple six figures, and they just go in with a little lighter attitude. They might even enjoy their work too a little bit better when they have that attitude, that they're going to be good. They don't have to work for much more than 5 years, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just kind of go in and do their thing, and they save their money and invest it passively, they'll be financially free pretty dang soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kind of did the opposite. I got out of the Army and decided I was just going to jump all into real estate. And that's a painful way to do it. I wouldn't recommend to most people like go out and just like leave whatever it is you're doing and say, I'm going to just go all in. It's, I mean, I learned a lot by doing that, but there was several years of, living on nothing to get things kind of going. So I think that's wise advice there. This was a highlight from the full interview that I did with Lane Kawaoka. He is a really sharp guy from Simple Passive Cash Flow. If you want to hear the full interview, you can check it out on any podcast player. Just search for Living Off Rentals Podcast. Or you can go on over to our Facebook group, the Living Off Rentals Facebook community. Just go to Facebook and search Living Off Rentals. It'll pop right up. Join the group. You can ask any questions you have on rental property investing. There's a lot of really smart rental property investors that hang out there, and I will see you in the next video.